What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 7. This is season 7, episode, ain't no episode, child. This is season 7, reunion part 2. Child, I don't know why I could not get that out, but as y'all can see, it might be because I'm in a whole nother environment. I am not in the original stew, y'all. Excuse me for the lighting. My lighting is pretty off. There's a lamp here that I'm like trying to get in front of me, but it's more so like on the side of me. So it's not really helping my situation here. And I can't figure out where else to plug it up at. So that's the issue. But yes, I am currently in Maryland right now. So yeah, I was like, I have a little downtime. Why not go ahead and shoot a little something for the people, okay? So we are here with it. Let's go ahead and get into this review because I really have other things that I need to do. So yeah, it picks up where it left off last week with Candace telling Giselle, and if there's an echo, I'm sorry. It's kind of like a, a big space. But anyway, yeah, it left off with Candace telling Giselle, baby, your uterus had a storyline to tell, and instead of telling that story, you wanted to sit here and malign my husband. Baby Candace, let me tell you something. Malign is, we should play a game. That should be the drinking word on Watch What Happens Live, because Candace wore that word out, and I want her to honestly find something else. It's giving me the vibes of Louis and Insecure on Housewives of New Jersey. Let's find another word. Let's use some synonyms in here, okay? But yeah, she said that you did not tell your personal story. Instead, you ran with this situation between you and my husband. So Candace and Andy are both trying to figure out, girl, what is this? It's a game of semantics, Giselle. Did he make you feel uncomfortable because y'all were in a room together? Did he do something to make you feel uncomfortable? Like, what is it? And she was like, well, she felt uncomfortable. Meanwhile, you have Mia chiming in like, well, why can't you just understand that your friend felt uncomfortable? And even Giselle corrected her, like, he didn't do anything. He just made me feel uncomfortable. Then why are we here, Ike? Why has this been a storyline? This makes no sense, Giselle. You literally went out of your way. You waited 6 months until you had an audience of millions, like Candace said, to say something about this. This whole situation is just pointless. The storyline was unnecessary, and she knows exactly what she did. She owes him an apology, and honestly, I feel like there should be some type of consequence, because you can't keep lying on people's husbands, families, and all of that from season to season and just skating by. Unfortunately, we know that this is Giselle. She is a production Bravo fave, so she's not going to get any type of consequence from this. But there is a problem. You did insinuate that he did something to make you feel uncomfortable, but under the same breath, you're saying that he didn't. So what are we doing? Baby, Robin is so, the nerve of Robin Dixon, she blows my mind. So, yes, Giselle and Candace, their whole situation, that leads to Ashley and the Deborah thing. Girl, the lies fell flat when Ashley seen it. She said that she was very surprised because what Deborah said about Chris didn't align with her words. And according to Deborah, the editing, they love to blame it on the editing. According to her, the editing did not match his words, or something that she was saying, like the words that was coming out his mouth didn't really match up with what was actually being said. Girl, whatever. Just like Andy and Wendy said, it's a reach with the Happy Eddie situation. You were looking for a moment. Ashley put you up to it, and y'all both look like clowns, because what y'all did not bank on was production showing them receipts of Chris and Eddie both paying no attention to Deborah in the capacity in which she made it seem. So even Wendy said, women become uncomfortable when men show normal decency. And even these men here on the cast, they're nervous to even interact with women because of situations like this. Women lying on them, putting things on them that never even happened. Thank goodness for cameras, because otherwise, baby, they would have took that and ran with it. So then that leads to Andy asking about Robin and the whole speaker situation and Candace on Instagram Live. Was that me, or did that just seem like a jump? That really didn't even go with what was said, but I guess we're still in Candace's package, so whatever. Robin's whole thing was, at the time, I would assume that she was talking about Ashley and Giselle, because that's who Candace was upset with, but then she was talking about businesses. So then she started thinking, I have a business, Wendy has one, Karen has one, Mia has one. Okay, who is she talking about? And that's when she decided to let everybody know that this was a situation. But Robin, at the end of the day, that is your friend. Candace is your friend. So you should have went to her and talked to her about it. You purposely tried to embarrass her. And yeah, you were in your feelings because you know you was on BS, siding with Mia through the whole Wendy and Mia beef. You knew you was on some BS and you felt like a hit dog that hollered because you are, and you wanted to embarrass your friend. But Candace, I need you to understand that she is not your friend. Robin is not your friend. She is only loyal to Giselle. And I thought it was very, very extremely rich that Robin would fix her mouth to say things in real time, things that happen in real time should be happening on camera. Or whatever she said. You cannot fix your mouth to say that. And I'm so happy that Bravo flashed forward 2 weeks later. Because the whole time you've been sitting on this infidelity mess with you and your husband. But you didn't want to share that on camera. She's just a walking contradiction. And she shows her clown behavior in every scene. Even one of the viewers is like, Candace, when you sat there and fixed your mouth to say that Robin, you looked up to her the most out of everyone in the group, what about Wendy? It's not even about what about Wendy, because it's not a competition. And I understand that, you know, she does know some of the ladies longer than she may have known Wendy and all of that. But the thing is, if you're going to look up to somebody in the group, why Robin? Why the Green-Eyed Bandits and Ashley? Because, I mean, if we think about it, Robin, she got her hat business, but yes, like I said, she's bad with business, bad with money. She's just Giselle's floozy. Like, what is it that's so aspirational? Like, what do you see in her? She could be motivating to do better. I get that, but to look up to her, confusion. And just like Wendy said, baby, you said that she was the most loyal to you, and then she pulled out that JBL speaker. Now what? So yeah, it's not a competition, but we want to know why you look up to Robin. Though I understand that you have a connection with her, she greeted you and welcomed you with open arms and all of that. Why are you looking up to her? What has she done? What has she done that you couldn't do yourself? Because you're an accomplished woman. This is what confuses me, because we are into Giselle's package and we're incorporating Karen. Because Giselle didn't have a storyline. She didn't have much to talk about. She had the Reasonably Shady live podcast, and we got a brief moment about her hysterectomy. That's it. And then in the package, did y'all see the clip of her going on the date with the dude Steve that she talked about? We didn't get to see that on TV. So why is this included in her package? This doesn't make sense. Giselle didn't have anything to talk about. Yes, Hotel Giselle is up and running. And it seems like she's doing all that work to eventually move out, because she plans on being there until the girls are gone and I guess done with college or something. It sounds like she's going to decide to move at some point. The Reasonably Shady podcast is doing well. They've shot 80 episodes. Wendy threw a little shade when Robin said that they haven't been doing, they haven't watched the podcast before doing their own. Now, Wendy said that wasn't wise. I said, now, hold on, Wendy, hold on. You're my girl, but I can't be on your side too much with that, because you are somebody who also didn't study enough to get your candle business off, you know, I don't know, off, up and running, girl, whatever. You didn't do a lot of your research. Your husband had to get you together on it. So not too much on the Reasonably Shady podcast, even though, you know, I don't feature those girls. But, Giselle, you don't have anything to talk about here. And then we're talking about Karen's live show in the midst of your package. Now, they said that Karen, basically, sis, you biting off of everybody. You did the candle thing after Wendy. Now you're doing the live shows after the Green-Eyed Bandits. But we already discussed this beforehand. She did, and there's video proof of her saying that the La Dame fragrance or home essential line is going to be a line. There's going to be a fragrance. There's going to be candles. There's going to be other things that come with it. So I don't know why we're rehashing that. But then she said that her inspiration for the live show was some woman named something, because Andy was like, I mean, didn't you get a little inspiration from the Countess and Friends, Luann? And she said, no, it was from some other lady. And Andy was like, well, girl, you just said in the package in your confessional that it was Wendy Williams. And then Karen thought that it was shade, but it's not shade because that's what you said, Karen. So, girl, here you go, just talking. Karen just be talking, and sometimes she just don't realize what she said. And she does that a lot. I mean, we know this is a cast full of liars, so just say that you got the idea from them. You thought that it was something that you could do as a money grab and call it a day. But of course, that's a little too blunt, so she would never say that.
So we know what the La Dames are. If there was a group called the Robins, what would they be?
Birds. The birds.
Boring. Oh.
The birds.
Lauren from Fairfield said, Giselle, thanks for being open about your hysterectomy. It's something a lot of women go through. Have you had the procedure yet? And if so, how are you feeling emotionally and physically?
That was probably, like, out of 7 seasons, the biggest feedback that I've ever gotten from women who are going through it and who could sympathize, empathize, feeling like, okay, you're getting your uterus taken out, you don't feel like a woman anymore. That's what I totally felt. Yes, I've had the surgery. It was highly traumatic.
But see, this should have been your storyline. This goes back to what Candace said, what every other YouTuber said about this whole thing. Giselle, you had a real story to tell. You really did. And though we've seen the fibroid story throughout these different reality shows with Black women, we've never seen them have, or from my recollection, we've never seen a lot of these stories where they have to actually have their uterus removed, the whole hysterectomy. That was a true story that you could have displayed and let the world see. A lot of women can identify with that. A lot of women can identify with fibroids. A lot of women can identify with hysterectomies. But some women who don't know what that looks like, that would have been very insightful. And that would have been a way for the audience to truly connect with you and not look at you as this conniving person who does things for production's sake and to get a rise out of the audience and your castmates. But you dropped the ball with this, and this is why we can't see you for the human that you are. Because you don't behave in a manner in which we can really feel, that we can really see ourselves in. Giselle, So Giselle, the surgery was 3.5 hours. It ended up being 8.5. Your daughters were terrified because at a certain point, they stopped giving your family updates. You had to stay the night and all of that. But it was funny that she tried to avoid the situation and was like, no, we'll talk about it later. So then fast forward, after she got all of that out, Andy asked a question from a viewer saying that, you know, you get all of this flack for not showcasing your actual personal life, but you expect so much from your other cast members. How does that even work? And then she had the nerve to say, well, you know, there's certain things that she doesn't want to talk about. She doesn't want to share, you know, her health issues with people that she doesn't like. And she points over to Wendy. So out of a cast of what, 7 to 8 women, you only dislike one. And because you only dislike one of them, then that's your scapegoat and reason to not share your personal life amongst the group. Wendy hasn't always been there. There has been other women that you've had issues with amongst the cast. Everybody is not getting along, but even though everybody does not get along within the cast, they still have a way of showing their true, real moments. You have Ashley, who has shown real life moments and issues. Candace, Wendy, Robin. Robin been showing her struggle since episode 1. Since episode 1, when she had to sell that wedding dress. Since season 1, when Ashley said that they only had a few cents in their bank account. Like, there has been so many people on this cast that has showed their actual real life and things that are going on behind the scenes and, you know, in front of the camera. And I feel like that's very unfair for you to sit here and expect so much out of other people and feel like you can just skate on by because you're the messy one that likes to stir up drama. No, and Bravo needs to fix that. Y'all need to make her work for that check. I mean, she's working for that check, but still, there needs to be some type of personal storyline with Giselle. We get into Wendy's segment. Mia, you're delusional, okay? Because we just gonna get down to this this water toss. Mia, you're delusional. You did stir the pot with that whole Peter situation. Just like Andy said, he was confused because Wendy didn't say anything about your husband. Then Mia, you fixed your big bubble lips to say that we were talking about business and Wendy wanted to talk about threesomes. Baby, she brought up threesomes after you threw a drink on her. And because you reacted the way that you reacted. No one would throw a drink on somebody in such a passionate way when it's about a situation that has nothing to do with you. You inserted yourself into Wendy and Peter's issues, looking for drama, and then you wanted to wear this badge of honor of being Peter's play sister, and that's family. Don't talk about family and all it is. And you should have checked in when you came to Miami. So when she says, I don't have to check in with another grown man, that's not my husband. That's not the way me and my husband do that. Maybe y'all do that over there. And then you want to toss a drink. So then that's when she's like, oh, y'all must be f***ing. Because otherwise, why do you feel so strongly about this situation to the point where you're throwing drinks and hitting me with your purse? Yeah, that will cause a lot of confusion. And I would assume that this must be your man, because I don't understand why you're going so hard for this situation. That has nothing to do with you. Wendy was minding her business the entire time up until you brought her into the mix. So yeah, you wanted some shit to pop off and you got it. And now you want to sit there and lie and try to make it seem like she said all these other things that just built up to a drink being tossed. No, you just was acting like a wild ass animal down at your brother's restaurant fucking up his shit. Mia, we don't believe you with this whole, you got a receipt of Wendy and Peter doing it on camera. Y'all be too comfortable lying. Like, we don't believe you. Let's just move on.
Let me get in her face, and I did. And everybody in this world has the right to retaliate however they want to.
Case closed.
However, I really did not want to see her fighting on television.
And why the fight or shut up?
Let's talk about it, Karen.
She kept, no, listen. Let me answer her. After I said this to her, you kept going. And that's when I said, okay, well, if you want to fight, then just fight. And then I said, but if you don't, then stop. And that's the part that people are missing.
Robin.
Right?
No.
Because you don't want to fight on camera. But
I get
if she comes and pops you in the mouth, because you keep doing this, you know, fire ass when the cameras go away.
I think that even with the...
Okay, so they gave us some unseen footage where she was, you know, trying to act like she was looking out for Wendy, but at the end of the day, you were very antagonistic. Let's not miss that message, because that's what Robin keeps doing this whole reunion. Let's not miss the message, but let's not miss this. The fact that you got excitement from this situation to where you pulled out your camera to try to make Wendy look like the bad person. You kept smiling at the situation. You were laughing. You said in your confessional that you didn't like Wendy, so you didn't care. So all of that support that you were trying to give, to me, is still fake, because at the end of the day, you don't like Wendy. So you're not looking out for her best interest. You still mad because she read you down last year about you and your loveless relationship. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this door here. I keep hearing stuff. He got like one of those smart lock situations, and it keeps sounding like somebody touching it or something. Like, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Robin, you full of shit. And here y'all are again trying to bring Karen into the situation and saying that she could have diffused it because Robin and Wendy were not friends at the time. No, just like Andy corrected Karen, you threw gas on the situation regardless of whatever. Stop trying to blame Karen for not stepping in when you simply could have stood up for what was right, period. It doesn't matter if you don't like her or not. If you wanted to help out in some capacity, even though you don't like her, you could have told Mia to chill out and what she did was wrong. You did not have to necessarily cape for Wendy, but if you needed somebody to diffuse the situation, you could have did it your damn self and got that wild animal off the damn scene, off the premises, or whatever. Instead, when she was off the premises, y'all, don't let her win. Don't let Wendy. She took you there. You let her take you there. You was faking. You was phony as fuck at the end of the day. Let's not miss that message, Robin. Robin's intentions were never pure when it came down to that message she tried to give Wendy about fighting off camera, and you didn't want her to look crazy on camera because she had all of that stuff to lose. No, save it. Yes, Karen was straddling the fence and all of that, but at the end of the day, Robin, you were never genuine in the words that you spoke to Wendy. You just tried to cover your ass because you didn't want the audience to jump on you, which you still got jumped on.
Ashley, you flip-flopped your stance on violence this season.
Sure did.
You know, Monique was far more violent than Mia, and you defended her to the courts.
Everyone came to Candace's defense, as they should have.
And you wanted to
No
be a
one
hero.
came to Wendy's defense. No one checked to make sure that she was okay when she was the person who had been violated. And no one was holding Mia's feet to the fire for her actions. Everybody chastised Monique, told her she was a misrepresentation of black women and all this stuff. I mean, everyone went for her jugular. But no one was saying anything to me, and I didn't think that was fair, and I will stand by that.
But Ashley also wasn't there when the Candace and Monique situation went down. So because you were not there, I don't think that she should have gotten involved with the two of them, period. I don't care if you're writing a statement about her character or not. You were not there. You don't want to get involved. If you are against violence, then be against violence. Your good sis was the aggressor in that moment, Miss Ashley. She was damn sure the antagonist. And Mia was the antagonist in this too, so you should have had the same energy. And the thing with this cast, and certain people on TV in general, you question how they move because you know that they're going to get eaten up on Instagram, on Twitter, you know, the blogs. So because they are aware of how the audience may react, they behave in a certain manner to try to get the heat off of them. So that's why certain things get questioned. Okay, you're not being genuine, Robin. You're not being genuine, Ashley. You know, y'all do these things where it's like, okay, so if you didn't know, if you felt like Black Twitter wasn't gonna eat you up, would you really behave like this? Would you really react like this? Or is this for stunt and shows? Just to make you look good in the audience's eyes? I was here for Ashley supporting Wendy. I was, and I spoke about that when it happened. But yeah, it is definitely giving flip-flop because we all were upset with Ashley writing that character, whatever, for Monique. She wasn't there, so none of that shouldn't even happen.
A drink and hitting her with her purse. And how is that different?
What Monique did to Candace is completely different than the drink throwing. Candace, I felt like, got beat up. This was a drink toss. So the two
and a purse bop.
You're saying that Chris made you feel a certain way?
Yes.
Okay, so listen to her. She felt a certain way.
Yeah.
She got a martini thrown in her eyes.
Right.
She felt violated.
Right.
So,
I don't like her.
I
so
understand,
I feel it
but
doesn't
then,
matter to me.
You know what?
That's your moral compass.
Exactly. It's that sometimes shit that we talk about. You don't like her, so because you don't like her, now you're an advocate for violence. You're okay. I don't want to say advocate, but now it's okay to be violent. But as long as there's a girl that you feel like is a threat to you, and you don't like her, and she does the violating, oh, guess what? Girl, you are a disgrace to womankind. You are a bad mother. You are X, Y, and Z. I need to get security when I'm around you. I don't feel safe. I'm pulling out my white woman Karen card on you because I want you off the show. But if a girl that I don't like is being assaulted, then you know what? Y'all have at it. Robin, go ahead and get this on film. We gonna laugh. We gonna kiki. And Mia, keep doing your thing. We're going to give you a pep talk like you're in a boxing match. We want you to go back in there and whoop her ass some more. Like, what? It's very contradicting. And that's why we don't like y'all bitches, because y'all fake as hell. Assault is assault at the end of the day. She got hit with a purse and a martini got thrown in her eyes. Candace got assaulted and beat up, banged up in the head by Monique. You did not have the same energy for both of those situations. And that's unacceptable.
That was up. And the way in which it was handled within this group was up.
It was.
It took everything out of me not to beat the out of you.
I know that's right.
Not because I couldn't, but because of who I am as a woman. And the only reason I came to your room to have that conversation in Mexico was so we can move forward as a group. But I don't with you. Because you violated me. Violated me to my deepest core. I messed up my makeup.
Weren't y'all kissing or something? Or vagina bumping?
She don't know what she want to do.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that, child.
And this is the problem, Wendy. Because yes, we understand that you forgave her for the sake of the group to move forward. At the end of the day, you got to film with these women, your co-workers. You and Candace always give them multiple chances and they screw y'all over every time. I mean, I have a forgiving heart, but sheesh, like I could not imagine somebody trying to bot me with their purse, throw a drink on me, and then, you know, barely want to apologize, give a half-assed apology to me. And then that same night you apologize and I'm showing you my coochie. And we ain't gonna blame it on the alcohol. I'm not, at least, because I'm somebody who drink and is fully aware of what's going on. So yeah, I'm not blaming it on the alcohol. You let your guard down a little too quick with these girls, and you see how she got her creative face on this screen and trying to dismiss you and spewing lies still about you messing around with Peter and all of that. That girl ain't remorseful. She just said that just to say it. I'm confusion. We're sitting here talking about the colorism topic, and they were thinking about ways to go about it. And as a white man, yes, Andy, it's not your place to discuss. And they thought about having a mediator, but they started off with the women talking to their producers. So they all agreed that they wanted to have the conversation amongst each other without a mediator. No, y'all need a mediator. Y'all need somebody who was not a part of this cast, and y'all dropped the ball with that by putting it in the women's hands. I don't like that. Y'all should have had somebody up there, because then for Candace to be so vocal about it and then to say that she doesn't feel like her castmates are colorists, you're lying. You're lying. And that does not sit well with me, but I'm going to continue to watch, because you know how they get down on this show. If you feel like your castmates aren't colorists, then what are they? But like I said, I'm going to keep watching. Now, we all know that the Green Eye Bandits, Karen and Ashley, have definitely shown signs of colorism. I don't necessarily think that they're all colorist, but baby, they definitely have some coloristic ways, and I'm not going to let that slide nor forget about that. It's them being dumbfounded. Giselle not understanding why Candace brought up her tears. The thing is, yeah, she's been villainized for her tears. Oh, she always crying, blah, blah, blah. But if it were a woman of a lighter shade, people would sympathize and empathize with her a lot more. Similar to white woman tears, even though she's black. But I'm saying, you know how they gravitate towards lighter skin? They're more softer on lighter women. Whereas darker women, yeah, we're supposed to be strong, and, you know, you doing all that crying, it's an issue. So even with Karen was describing it, yes, she explained it in a great way. But then you have people like Bobblehead Ashley and her Bob, and is acting confused. Well, you know, that's just her personality. No, you know exactly what it is. Like, let's stop acting as if there is not a clear divide and there isn't clear favoritism, whether it comes from the cast behaving and interacting with each other and the way that the audience reacts to certain women on the cast. I just like people always say, and I don't want to sound like, you know, a broken record, because a lot of us YouTubers say the same thing. But it's just like a lot of YouTubers already say, that it's funny how black people can recognize racism but can't recognize colorism. Like, how do you not see what's going on? You're choosing not to. And a lot of the reasons why they choose not to is because you know that you're guilty of some of these behaviors and you don't want to be viewed as a colorist, the same way that white people don't want to be seen as racist. Honestly, I don't want to get too far into this segment because I just don't have time, and I don't want to. So yeah, I said what I said, so let's move on. So Jacqueline comes out and they start talking about her and Mia's relationship, and you know how Jacqueline felt like Mia was treating her as if she was a peasant, somebody beneath her. And we all could agree with that. You brought your best friend on the show and you started stunting on her, start talking down on her, talking shit about her, how she's so needy. And I understand you might feel like she's so needy in certain aspects, but you don't have to go to the group and talk about her and air out y'all business like that. And then how cold you turned in Mexico, like that was a lot. So Andy is like, was this some type of get back? Did Jacqueline make you feel like a peasant or, you know, beneath her when her family welcomed you in? And Mia was like, nah, she never did that. Her parents welcomed me with open arms, treated me like I was their own. And see, it's like, okay, well, y'all do have some type of family dynamic and this is your best friend. So for you to bring her on this show and treat her as you did, that does not look good on your end, Mia. So then Jacqueline was like, yeah, you're unhinged because Mia said, you know, I could say, you know, X, Y, and Z and then wake up the next day and forget what I said. And Jacqueline was like, yeah, well, let's get into how unhinged you are because you went as far as talking about how my home went in foreclosure and the group text and all of that. When in fact, honey, your family business is in shambles. And do I need to bring out the receipts? Am I Ramaya? Am I Ramaya? Why do I keep saying Mariah? Mariah boys. Fucking it up. I'm gonna try to say a reference and I'm messing it up. I'm getting sleepy, y'all. But yeah, they brought out the receipts. Mia brought out her receipts. So it's gonna be a battle of receipts. And that's where the episode ended, y'all. So let's see where this episode goes. Next week is the conclusion, part 3. I'm sorry if I did not get the best of me. I am in a whole nother environment. You know, the lighting is off. It's a little echoey. And I don't know. I just never feel my best when I'm not in my studio down at the house in my bed. But anyway, let's get down in the comments to talk. Be sure to check out the Whether You Like It or Not panel tonight, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, I will not be there because I am out of town, but I will be in attendance in the comments with y'all when I do get a chance to. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.